Deep in Lastria, in the ancient temple cities, we get an important call from Mazdamandi. I think he figured out a great plan. And that we will do. We play as Kroq-Gar, and our goal is to purge all the races that threaten the great plan, or at least cripple them. Our first Skaven enemy is as good as dead. Why? Well, congratulations. You start with one of the best early game infantry in the game. Saurus warriors. These bad boys are disgusting. Large HP pool, extremely durable, and the blessed variant even has perfect vigor. I don't even know what early game Skaven can do against that. Also you get the big Jurassic Park dino. This variant has not the biggest damage output, but it's extremely tanky and causes fear, which low leadership factions hate. I really don't have the mental capacity to handle another siege, so we camp it out, just to show you how cracked our dinos are. Watch this. So they outnumber us like 4 million to 1, but that just means more meat for my skirmishers kings. These are one of the most annoying units you can deal with. They're usually faster than any infantry and just kite you to death while never using a model. Also there is this Javelin variant, that short range but deals massive damage. And Kroq-Gar, that just stuns on these vermin. It also doesn't help them that we start with a Heavens caster in the army. Or dinosaurs riding on dinosaurs. Or skinks, that are not only cute, but with the right tech become a terrifying force.
Mercy, yes, yes!
They're splitting up, which I hate.
No!
We need a big boy to handle the situation. While Kroq-Gar takes the rest of the settlements. Problem with Skaven is they love to ambush. You must survive the first second so the debuff wears off and your units function normally. They may have the numbers, but we have a crocodile with a big stick. Yes, 622 kills. Completely fair. Kroq and Big Roko destroyed the rest of them, but wait, hold up. So he chooses death. Death like the Dork Elves that have a relic of ours. Normally they would be annoying to fight without fast units to catch them, but I have something better. Flying tanky fast units that can catch them. These are even tuned. They get devastating flanker as part of being a blessed unit. Just position them behind the busy enemy and watch them fly. Every like 10 turns or so you can perform a ride to get your hands on a toad. These toads come in different flavors, from metal to life wizard, there is a toad for everyone. Also the higher the generation, the stronger they are. We get a 3rd generation one, and right in time because... Well, we are sandwiched. The Slan is going to deal with the new Skaven, and Kroq-Gar is pushing into greenskin territory. When you have a life Slan, always take a big monster. They complement each other well. The big dino is doing the stomping, and the Slan gives him treats. They have like 10k HP, so for the early game, they're a nightmare to deal with. Our main man has to fight for his life against naked green men. Choke point battles can be fun if you have things that can shoot more than 3 volleys. If not, you are in for a grind. They have physical resistance and magic that goes boom. Also the mushrooms outnumbered us by a lot. Which is not bad, because we created a choke point and I can use one of my favorite magics. But guess what, our toad has problems too. Which is a thing I would say if I were concerned in the slightest. A generation 3 toad comes with 30% spell intensity and a barrier for the whole army, which means you harass them from afar before you charge in with your big dino, taking no damage. Warp fuel can't burn Slan barrier. Toads are not really made for melee. They are very good spellcasters that can level entire armies, but suffer if you park them in high melee damage units, which the Skaven of course didn't have. Also, don't sleep on the red crested skinks. They will destroy every low tier infantry unit they come in contact with. Also, they look cool just doing their flips. For our struggles we get a dark gift, which turns units recruited in this region into walking refrigerators with clubs. More melee defense, armor and melee attack will look quite nice on these tier 2 units. I wish Kroq-Gar had that luxury. It isn't enough that they occupy whole lizard land. The mushrooms outnumber us again. Burzek is here too, and provides him with even more physical resistance. Also sometimes he shows me his feet. You need something big to hit them all at once, it isn't enough just to send them fly. No, I ain't talking about drone strikes. Something more, let's say, outer space. This was costly. If you suffer heavy casualties and are deep in enemy territory, you have to push on, especially if you see that the enemy has nothing left. Go with the momentum and don't let him recover, which in other words means, just blast them with magic. The greenskins in Skaven are purged, but there is something far more sinister next to us. Which I would have said is the next big problem if Oxyotl and Shatters didn't weaken him already. But hey, we got the hand of the gods and purged some beastmen, for which I don't have a fancy prophecy sequence because they're not a real danger in AI hands. But listen, a danger to my heart is if you don't like and subscribe. Written in the great plan is also to flex on these fools. Hell yeah. Magnificent. The French Coca-Cola demons and bold vampires were all in a massive deathmatch. Because I was overconfident, I thought it was a good idea to purge them all. It was not. First we put Manfred behind the barn and gave him the sweet release of death. After that we attacked some undefended Scarbaran settlements and watched the Bretonnians getting wiped by said red angry demon. Bad for them, because the great plan has in place for Warmbloods. But looking at the balance of power, I am the one getting purged soon. At first they sent only their peasants, which is completely unfair, because everything on our roster had counters them. Knights, dead. Archers, hunted down. Infantry, eaten. I would be sad about their fate, but I just don't speak baguette. But the thing is, the human wave tactics work. For every army destroyed, we suffer a little bit of casualties. With time they will grind us down, which they did. So with the small but elite force, we have to first squeeze our magic dry. And drop in the occasional orbital laser. Our infantry may be better, but they will get overrun just by sheer mass. For that we have a special blast Dagadon, which shoots poison arrows that cause damage over time. Bretonnians are low leadership, that means if you can snipe their lord, they become Skaven slaves and run back to their fields. Luckily, Kroq-Gar on Grimlock is a S-tier duelist. Still, after this win there was counterattack after counterattack. So with nearly no units left, desperate times call for desperate measures. Or in other words, we need help from Lastria. Scarbrand was being annoying with his hit and run tactics. The man himself even found us. But these are not mere skinks he is fighting. When you keep working your tech tree and give them some points in the red line, these bad boys punch far above their weight. I like to mix the different skink variants so you can stand and fight or ambush with explosive darts. If you want a balanced army, throw in some Kroq-Gars. Skinks and Kroxies are like bread and butter. They complement each other well and even get their stats boosted fighting back to back. With the power of friendship, tell me, what chances do these angry Redditor demons have? Kroq-Gar recovered, and we sent the Shredder back to Lustria because he's just so goddamn expensive. And made a deal with the Lizardmen KGB. Scarbrand, come on man, I banished you like one turn ago. So I banished him again. But his armies are getting more and more annoying. We must destroy his capital, so my poor skink stopped getting turned into minced meat. I got a bit el stupido and started running around in force march with my newly recruited army. Of course they have Grail Knights now. For all the trash I talk about the brats, I just love their Grail Knights. The little boy in me would have exploded in happiness seeing a medieval knight fighting a dinosaur in the desert. But hey, at least we got a short victory and managed to take Scarbrand's main recruitment settlement. This constant back and forth started to annoy me. I take a settlement, they take one back. Kroq-Gar kills the Grail Knights, and they still take a settlement back. This has to stop. I can already hear you say,
But Potapovich, you didn't purge the dwarves.
look, I want to, but how can I purge someone that has a pet T-Rex? If pet T-Rex trusts neighbor dwarf, I trust neighbor dwarf. Except Belegar. I hate Belegar. That's all I got for you today. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.